obviously incredibly excited. I don't think that it's been quite a while since I've had this kind of feeling, to be honest with you. It's kind of like Christmas morning. I don't mean Christmas morning now because I kind of have a good idea what to expect on Christmas morning now. But Christmas morning when you're a younger guy, when you're a kid, because you're getting ready to unwrap some stuff and to see some stuff that you're not exactly sure what's there. So that makes it incredibly exciting. I think back, it's probably been since I first got started in coaching that I've been in this situation. I think my first year at the University of Akron was probably the last time that I've kind of went into an opener and not knowing exactly what to expect, not knowing what the atmosphere will be like, not knowing exactly what you've got that's running out there as well. So an incredibly exciting time for me, I think for our entire program, but I think for me in general, really that kind of excitement. It's been a while since I've had that. I think the other thing I'd probably just start off with is Hayden Moore will be our starting quarterback, and that gives us a lot of experience. I think Hayden's got 7 or 8 official starts in college, so he's got a lot more experience at this than I do even. So going out there, taking the field on Thursday night, having a guy that's got 7 or 8 starts under his belt, there's not going to be anything he hasn't seen, not going to be anything that's going to be an incredible surprise to him, whether it's the stadium, the crowd, anything like that. So I think that gives us an opportunity to play fast and to have some stability behind the most important position on the team. And then, to be honest, I'm excited about really trying to finally seeing that culture. This whole time it's been kind of what we've talked to you guys about, or I say to our team all the time, it's what we promote and what we permit, and that's what our culture is so far. As a coaching staff, as a team, as team leaders, it's about what we promote and what we permit. And finally, it's time to put it on film. And that's the third step to really building your culture. Promote, permit, and then ultimately put on film. And that's what we have an opportunity to do Thursday night. So I guess we can open it up from there and take any questions if we got any.
Is Ross Trail? What's his status?
Ross is good. I mean, Ross is he's got an ab strain. Don't know that how we'll play the whole thing out, but he's been out for a few days. Was out for a few days just with trying to make sure we didn't know exactly how to handle it. It's not something that's normal. We're getting on the strength, guys. Maybe we didn't do enough abs in the summer, so there's some things we can maybe do a little bit better. But
he can play.
Ross is available for us if needed.
What percentage would you put him at physically?
I don't know. We still got a couple of days. We still got over 48 hours to find out. I don't know that we don't want to put him in a situation where he obviously can't be successful, and we can't be successful for us as a team. So there's still some things we've got to evaluate in the next 2 days. So right now, I don't know that he won't take a ton of reps, but we got to have the ability to have him ready to go and see how he feels in pregame is a big deal for us.
And your third guy would be
Jake. Yeah, Jake Shopko. And we've got other options. We've got other options if we have to, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. But you always got to have a plan. You got to have a plan for the unexpected, and that's kind of why we've gone. Jake's taken a lot of reps in the last week and a half, even through camp. When he was getting 3 reps to start with, and then as Ross went down, even when Hayden was down for a little bit. So he got a lot of reps working with more so with the second group, but he's got a lot of experience throughout the entire camp.
Coach, are you worried at all about the team looking past this home opener for Michigan?
No, I'm not worried about anybody looking past anything. This is our first opportunity to play together as a team. And I would be incredibly surprised, and I would never use that as any type of excuse by any means. But the way we've gone about everything, that the focus has been on how do we, that day, that Thursday, that we actually get to kick off and really start this thing and put our culture on film and do all the things that we've been talking about doing. I can't imagine that anybody has any mindset of anything other than excited about Thursday night.
Is there one area more than another that you're looking forward to finding out about linebackers?
I told you I'm like a little kid on Christmas right now. So there's a lot of areas. There's 4 or 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many presents you're used to getting, but there's a lot of presents being wrapped underneath that tree. Maybe the way you were, maybe you didn't get a bunch of these. But even if there was a lump of coal in there, you don't know. So yeah, there are some that are a little bit more. I mean, there's some positions that guys have played a lot of football, and you might say, you know what, I know how they're going to react and respond. I know what they're going to do when the lights turn on. There's some that you don't know exactly. I'm excited to see how the defense and offensive line play. And that's, I guess that's selfishly speaking, but when we sit here and tell you, everybody, that our program is based on an O-line, D-line based program, how could you say that you're not most excited to see how those guys play? And everybody wants to talk about how the quarterback plays and about the athletes, and the reality is, how do you build programs and how do you win championships? It's up front. And to see how those guys, as a unit, and I don't just mean, yeah, Cortez is a guy who's played a lot of football, but I want to see how he plays as a unit. How he picks up his teammates, how he reacts, how he responds, how excited he gets for his teammate to make something happen as opposed to just himself. The same thing as an offensive line. To see how those 5 guys, those 6 guys really truly work together, that's kind of a process. And it's going to be unveiled on Thursday night. And there's a lot of things besides just the scoreboard that I can't wait to evaluate when it's all said and done.
You've been a head coach before, but in entirely different circumstances, obviously. This is the first time this is your own. Talk about what that feels like.
Well, I wouldn't say it wasn't my own. I still felt that way about the opportunities that I had. I think it's so different because, even where I was before, whether I was a player there, walking out there, you knew what to expect. And that don't just mean, I'll expect to win. No, I mean, you knew what the crowd was going to be like. You knew what that field was like. You knew what the emotions were like. You had a good idea with a lot of those kids, that, who they are and what they're all about and where they come from. Right now, I don't. 7, 8 months with a lot of these kids. Some young ones 3 months and 4 months, and to see that go out there. So there's a lot of anxiety, to be honest with you. I told the guys the other day, they were kind of joking and stretching. They asked me if I was nervous, and that ended up being our talk there at the beginning of practice. I said, yeah, I'm nervous. Not because I'm worried about the final destination or the score of some sorts, but I'm nervous just that's anxiety for me to say, hey, you're preparing yourself. Obviously there's no looking past or looking over or I don't know what you want to say, that you're not worried. I'm not saying, to me, nerves are a good thing because it really prepares you. So there's a lot of things I'm excited about, in some ways a bit nervous about, but for me, those kinds of things that prepare me. I talk about it to guys all the time. What motivates you, and everybody's different, but those nerves and those kinds of things are what really, for me, what motivates me.
The 3 guys that were elected captain of the team, what do you hope that they do for you early on in the season, and then what do you hope they sustain for you throughout the year?
Well, it just starts with they're a representation, and sometimes captains can be overblown, but the reality is they're chosen by their teammates, and they're chosen by their teammates for a reason. But like I've told the guys, I said, if those are the only 3 guys that we really think are leaders, and if those are the only 3 guys that lead on our team, we'll struggle. We'll struggle big time. So you got to have leadership in all different areas. You have to have leadership in all different ways. Ultimately, obviously, those are the guys that are going to be out there. Those are the guys that are going to represent us. Those are the guys, when coach has an issue of any sorts, that those are the guys you're going to lean on. But I still think we're never going to stop learning. I'm learning. I'm still growing as a leader in everything I do. And to me, those guys early on, if they don't know exactly what that means, their example will be the greatest, the greatest example to us to start with. And then as we move forward, as we continue to coach these guys, as we continue to help develop these guys, in their leadership skills, they'll realize that throughout this entire season, it's going to be more about how they make others around them better. And that is an unselfish act. And I think being a leader and throwing in those situations and those opportunities, that's something that's not natural, and that's something that's learned. And that'll be a process throughout this entire season.
What do you expect to see from Austin Peay?
They got 13 new guys, to be honest with you. They got, from junior college transfers and Division I transfers. So I expect to see a personnel that maybe is better than what people have seen on film. And that's what you try to make sure our guys understand. Is you're going to see something different. You're going to see something better just on what they've done in the last, 3 months. But the reality is, we got to focus on ourselves. Not that we don't prepare for them, not that we don't study them, not that we don't say, hey, yeah, they're going to run the quarterback and they're going to play a 4-4 defense, they're going to play 4 down line, they're going to play quarters coverage behind it. The reality is in the approach that we've taken is, hey, we got to focus on ourselves, and it's up to us to do the things that we need to do to be successful. And that's putting that culture. It's playing together. It's playing fast. I think, to me, that's what's most exciting about it. I want to see how fast our kids will play. What Well, coach, that's not hard to find out. Just go ask the strength coach what they ran a 40-yard dash. No, that has nothing to do with it. You know, fear, you know, hesitation, confusion. Those are the kinds of things that make guys that run 4.5, 4.6 not play like that. And we need to see that the thing as a coach, you know, the greatest thing that we can give to them is confidence. Confidence to go out there. Is there going to be a mistake? Darn right there's going to be a mistake. Effort overcomes all mistakes. And we want to see those guys play with that effort level that they truly believe in the culture that we've kind of set for them, and be able to display that.
Coach, it's also the first game for your staff together as a unit. How have those guys adjusted to working together and going through their first kind of game week together as a group?
Well, it's not a normal game week. Everybody in the office, you know, comes on and says, "Happy Tuesday." Like, Tuesday, it's Thursday. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Today's Thursday. You know, and Saturday was Monday. I mean, so a normal game week, I wouldn't say it is. But again, I would be crazy if I didn't say, "Oh, they've done a great job." The reality is, we find out a lot about each other. We'll find out a lot about our guys, you know, in adverse situations. We find a lot about the bonds and the things we've created as a staff. You know, we can't figure those things out without being in some of these situations that we're going to be in, whether it's on Thursday, whether it's next Saturday, whether it's 3, 2, 4, whatever, how many weeks from now. It's a process as well. And, you know, the same things we preach to our players, we preach to our coaches. You know, and in order to be a leader, you got to be unselfish. And how we work together, whether it's on a game day, you know, when the emotions and adrenaline is a lot higher, is still a process. So I'm excited about where we are right now, but I'm more excited to see how we can enhance it and where we can go from here.
Coaches talk a lot about culture, you too. What does that mean to you? How would you describe the culture you try to?
Well, it's a buzzword. I think that's probably in the last 5, 6, 7 years that, you know, they kind of go in trends and say, okay, well, what's the new word, what's the new phrase, and talking about everybody's programs nowadays. And at one time it's, hey, we're going to create a family. Culture is really, to me, my important thing for these guys is not eliminate confusion. You know, today's practice is all about eliminating the confusion on the field. The day we walked in the door, we want to be, hey, I want to eliminate all confusion for you. I don't want you sitting there thinking, well, what does Coach really think? What does he really want? What does he think of me? No, we'll let you know. And it's the same thing with your culture. You know, it's what do we really expect from our guys? You know, and I think that's the clarity that we want to put behind it. That's why we put it up on the board. That's why I put it up on the wall, so that every day they're looking, this is what our expectation is, guys. You know, and that's kind of what's bred and put in, but I told you again, it's what we permit, what we promote, and then really what we put on film. So is it the buzz? Yes, but it's really who your program is. You know, it's what you guys will think. When you watch on Thursday night, then you can walk away and say, well, what is this program really about? Well, are they about the 4-3 defense? Are they about the spread offense? If that's what you think, then we probably aren't doing the things that we need to do to be a program where we're going to have a chance to not only get to excellence, but sustain excellence. If you walk away saying, man, that team plays together, that team plays fast. You know, they made some mistakes. Oh, they turned that guy loose and covered, but all of a sudden, you know, the ball was up or couldn't get off because those guys were rushing like a madman. Now all of a sudden, our guys are truly believing in the things that we're doing. And what we don't want to do is double talk. It's hard. You confuse an 18 to 22-year-old. They can't play fast. They can't play free. But if you can try to eliminate as much confusion, put the things that you really want out in front of you, you know, I think they have a chance.
Offensively, do you go into this with any sort of rough script on what you want to try to do coming out of the chute?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think every game you get yourself a good little script, and you know, whether it's 10, 12 plays and the ideas that you want to do. But this is kind of what, you know, like I said, are we doing anything different because it's Austin? No, they don't have a whole lot on us. You know, they don't know exactly. It's not like we need to change up a bunch of things saying, hey, they've studied 12 games. They had all the off season to study us and to work on us. But in reality, there's probably a lot of questions. They shouldn't know exactly what it is we're doing. So that's why in those first games, it's so important to focus on yourself and doing the things that you've done all camp, that you've done all spring. Obviously, there's little tweaks, but that's the only way. If you really, truly say you want your kids to play fast, say you want your kids to play free, then you got to coach that way, you know, and you got to be willing to not sit there and say, hey, we're smarter than everybody else, and here's what we're going to do. And when they do this, we're going to do this. And when they do this, as opposed to saying, hey, this is who we are. This is what we're going to do. And let's do it better than anybody else.
Anything else? All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
You did have a